From late 2023 to mid 2024, I was writing an album titled Kismet. There's a song on streaming platforms that was intended to be the lead single, continuing the sonic direction following Rendezvous and Crystal Cabaret. The album was inspired by and co-written by a former girlfriend. During the summer of 24, we separated due to carelessness on my end. We tried to remain on friendly terms, though over time the phone stopped ringing. One September morning, sitting behind the building I used to work at, just killing time before clocking in, the realization finally hit. She's gone, and you messed up big time. With that realization fully illuminated, any and all desire to finish the Kismet album ceased to exist. I completely lost all motivation to write any love song if I don't have a love to write about. The following week, sitting at my same spot, smoking 2 or 3 cigarettes or something, I developed a sudden fixation on Frank Sinatra's album In the Wee Small Hours. From beginning to end, I was purely beside myself listening to that album on repeat, ultimately resulting in a random, out-of-the-blue idea. I could write a jazz album, I guess. The following October, I spent a week at my grandmother's ranch in rural Illinois. The entire week I found myself wandering around the property, listening to my collection of jazz favorites and writing down miscellaneous thoughts in my diary. If I was to write a jazz tune, what would I say? Immediately I reflected on the breakup, to which in turn caused me to fully reflect on myself as a person. Due to my own insecurities, I caused the relationship to end the way it did. Far too many times have I sabotaged relationships, hoping to leave them before ever having them leave me. That mindset completely blew up in my face, and I am left to ruminate on my mistakes. The remaining 2 months of the year were not at all fruitful. One by one, it was though aspects of my life were slowly chipping away. The hard drive I've been using to store 4 years of my career suddenly stopped working, rendering the device useless and impossible for me to ever access the few demos I started with. The Kismet album files were stored on that hard drive, meaning, and in some strange form of divine intervention, I had to move on. I loathe the month of December, for that it is the loneliest time for me. I detest celebrating or even acknowledging my birthday, and combined with the chilly winter air, Christmas is, ironically for me, generally depressing. One night, alone in my room, I found solace in a stranger. Someone I have discovered whose voice, whether by speech or singing, has given me an intense feeling of longing. Since discovering her, I have made it a routine to tune in every Sunday just to hear her voice. Come to find out, just this last July, it was all limerence. With that recent revelation, I have since distanced myself from her, and I no longer attend her new Sunday premieres. By the second day of January of this year, I learned through a friend of mine that a friend of ours has passed away. I still don't know how or why he passed, but I felt that news was the final nail in the coffin. Already blinded by delusions of faux romance and lingering regret of my breakup, having learned my friend whom, upon me moving to Las Vegas early 2023, became my first real friend since, is gone. I cried to myself, drank 2 bottles of Sapporo beer, and went out on an evening drive. I didn't care where I was going, I just went. Returning home, I downed a 3rd bottle of Sapporo. Severely depressed, I lost all purpose to do anything anymore. Though, slowly but surely, I crept out of my emotional hole and forced myself to start all over again, not just with music, but with myself. It was either I sit around and drink till I'm blind, just continuously hating myself, or I bleed in my art and properly process these feelings through my songs and poems. Which brings us to now. What this album means to me, without trying to sound contrived, is salvation. Each and every single track on this project is me dissecting myself layer by layer, spare for a single fun and arguably the only upbeat song. This album is me exploring myself tenfold. Whilst I have written and discussed themes of loss in my music before, albeit with as little detail as possible, this album is me fully sharing my loss.